Okay. Hello, everyone in YouTube world, Facebook world. I have Miss Minister Natalie Weeks, and I need you to hold on and give me a few minutes while I share the link for people to come into the show. If they're going to have any questions, and be patient and bear with me, please. And we'll be right back. Minister Weeks, you just hold on. Okay. Okay. YouTube world. I guess it's repeating everything I said. But hold on, everyone. I am sharing the link to different groups so we can get information. Okay, now I'm gonna share it on your page.
Thank
And I need you to hold on and give a few minutes. Okay. Share the link. All right. Okay, so I've shared the link now, and what I would like to do is I would like for Miss Minister Natalie Weeks to give us a description about herself.
Wow. Well, my name is Minister Natalie Weeks. I was born and raised in Joliet, Illinois. I have been a minister for I've been a minister for 2 years now. And I've been a nurse for over 36 years. I've been a health advocate for more than 20 years now. I've worked with a lot of different healthcare entities started out in nursing and went to healthcare recruiting. I've done case management. I've done uh, HEDIS audits. I've done a number of things in my career as a healthcare worker. And now
Okay.
advocacy. Amen.
Okay. And so today, what are we going to be? What's going to be the subject today that you're going to enlighten us on today?
Well, the subject today is are Black, Brown, and colored people being underserved in our community with COVID 19? Because there is a few people that I've had to advocate for in and out of this situation that have not been treated fairly or gotten the treatment that they needed in our community. And so I've been asked to create a survey and to find out if there's more out there. I'm sure if there's the few people that I've talked to, the treatment that they've had, I'm sure there's quite more in our community that's had either the same or worse treatment than these people have. So we really want to know what's going on in the community.
Okay. So when you say there's a survey out there and there's worse treatment, can you give me some examples of what people need to know that they're being undertreated?
Well, I've had gotten some calls where there was a expected mother who was diagnosed with COVID-19. She was sent home to self quarantine and she got worse. She went back to the hospital. She was told to just go home and to continue to self quarantine. We got that call back. This young lady was coughing so bad that she could hardly breathe. She was coughing up blood. um, we had to call 911 for her. She went to another hospital where she was diagnosed with pneumonia and she was in the hospital for 2 weeks on oxygen.
Okay, so
Yes.
most what I'm getting from this is that you're telling me that most of our black, brown, and colored people that are going to the hospital, they are just sending them home, and they might have respiratory problems, heart problems, and everything.
My major concern is that it's people that are compromised, that are not having that are being underserved and undertreated. Um, Another person who has respiratory compromising conditions, that same thing happened to them. They were diagnosed with COVID, and but their other conditions were not treated. They were not in consideration. Same difference. They were sent home. But, they give us these sheets to tell you what to do. However, you're confused. You've got all these things on the top of your head. What's going on? Live, die. What's going to happen to me? And you're sent home not knowing really what to do. But you self quarantine. You get sicker and sicker, and then there's nothing else left for you to do. Advocacy, yeah, there's advocates in the hospital. It's not like it used to be, though. Of course, insurances are not the same, monies are not there, but there should be somebody there in the middle to at least help these people navigate through that. It's not happening.
Can a person refuse to be sent home?
Well, what you can do is call your insurance company, or if you're on Medicare, you can call and say that you believe that you need to stay. But if you're in a situation, you're sick, number one, and somebody tells you that you have this disease, and you've watched the news and you've listened to all these dire diagnoses, and you've had people to die around you, you're afraid. Number one, that's the first thing. Fear doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to die today, but it also puts it in your head that I've got this thing, and where's it going to go with me? But secondly, then somebody's telling you just go home, quarantine, stay away from your family, lock yourself in a room for 14 days and suffer it, suffer through it. That's mental torture for
Exactly.
anybody. It's mental torture for anybody. So who calls these people at home? Is there somebody in the community that they contact to say, you know what, we have this family here, or we have this person? Is there somebody that you can in the community that you send out and talk to them, or is there someone in the hospital that does these things, that keep contact with these people? No, no. Or is there and they don't? Another person got diagnosed. The doctor came out and said, hey, you got COVID, you got pneumonia, go home and quarantine. Excuse me, really? But I've got all these other upper respiratory issues. What do I do about those? You didn't mention those. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm sick any other time, they put me in the hospital. You're an elderly person. What do I do now?
Right.
But you just send me home. Of
Okay.
course, I'm afraid. Of course, I'm afraid. I don't know
Exactly.
what's going to happen to me. Then what is my family supposed to do if my family doesn't understand? If my family doesn't get it, or my family wants to help me, but they can't help me? Who helps me? Who helps them understand this thing? You get misinformation on the news, you get misinformation everywhere else. Who understands this thing, really? It's flu like, so they tell you to treat it like the flu. Take flu medicine. Okay, that can only get you so far. If this virus, or whatever they want to call it, whatever they claim it to be, is affecting your other organs in your body, so then you're having other symptoms that are going on. That's not the flu, that's something else.
Okay. Miss Minister Natalie Weeks, what is the name of your organization?
Healthy for Life Advocacy.
Okay, can you repeat that again? Because I got a train in the background.
Healthy, HEALTHY, four, the number four, life advocacy.
Okay. And what made you decide to become an advocate?
20 years ago, I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's a mouthful, yes, but I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, and having private insurance, I was dropped. My insurance dropped me, so I had no insurance. But during this time with Guillain-Barré, I was paralyzed from my head to my toes. I had to have therapy. My family, my friends, everybody that I knew in the healthcare field helped take care of me. Therapists that I knew brought me back. Nurses around the clock. These are friends of mine that did these things for me. God put these people in my place in place to help me. So I know that there are people who need help, but the system, there's a gap. There's a gap in the system, and there's nobody in the middle. There's nobody in the middle to help you. And private insurance can drop you so fast it's not even funny. And they have no reason to, and they don't have to have one. They can drop you. But thank God for Obamacare now that they can't do that anymore. But at that time, they could do that, and nobody else had to pick you up. And Cobra is still expensive as ever. And Cobra was too expensive. Even being a nurse, Cobra was too expensive. So I had friends and family that would take care of me 24/7, that would help me bring me back, that would help me up on my feet. So people need help. People need help. And if they
Exactly.
don't have anybody, they're lost. They're lost.
We want to give a shout out to those that are in the background, that's listening, to Nunu and Pan and other Facebook listeners. And I'm glad you are here getting this information from Miss Minister Natalie Weeks, who is a nurse and an advocate for brown, black, and colored people that are being underserved in the community when they go to the hospital with COVID-19, with them sending us home. And
Mhm.
she has had some personal issues. Well, not her own personal issues, but she know people that have been affected by this personally with being sent home. Okay, so you can continue on, Miss Weeks.
Hmm. And so I deal with this. It's a neurological disease, as the doctors say, that I'll have for the rest of my life. So that I had to change the way I do nursing. And so I never want to give up helping people. That's just who I am. I help people. And God has always said, I will never stop working. You're always working. And my work is to help other people find a way to be taken care of. And so what I do is when people call me, I delve through the community to find help. If it's medicine, if it's insurance, if it's somebody that can help them during the day or somebody that can help them do something, I do that. That's just what I do.
Okay. And what is healthy for life's future plans in the near future?
Well, for Healthy for Life right now, what I'm trying to do is put together a survey to find out who else is out there that is having this issue with our community hospitals. Um, because we need to know. We need to know so we can pull these statistics together, and then we can figure out what to do about it. We need to go to these hospitals. We need to go to the hospital boards because they do have an advocacy program at the hospital. They have people. I've been in contact with people at these hospitals, and of course they have their plans and they have their purposes, but people are falling through the cracks, and we need to know who and how many are falling through the cracks so we can make a plan and get this rectified because people are dying. People are dying every day in our community, and we need to do something about it. And that's just where my heart is. We need to have something done about it. And so Healthy for Life is that's our next step is to get this survey out. And if you're listening right now, you can even go to either Healthy for Life on Facebook, or you can even go to Natalie Weeks on Facebook and drop me a line. Let me know what's been happening. You can leave your number, you can send it a messenger, and we can talk about it. We can get it together. I'm still going to put that survey out there, and so you can fill it out and get it back to me so I will know who's and how many are out there that this is happening to. If it's your family, friends, relatives, we need to know so I can get to the right people.
Right, because I'm getting a lot of people now. They're saying that they think they did have COVID when they,
Hmm.
had the flu so bad and they
Of
couldn't
course.
move and walk and everything.
Sure. Sure. Yeah,
And
absolutely. No, we really don't know. We really don't know how long it's been out there. We don't know how long it's going to be out there. We don't know the long term effects of it. We have no clue.
okay, and what are your plans for as your organization grows? What would you like to see done?
Well, as you know, Darlene, we started a support group. That's called Let's Talk About It,
Right.
and I'm trying to start that back up. Since
Yeah.
COVID started, I was going to start it at Leap of Faith Church, which is 1220 South Richard Street. But at right now, we can't do that in person. But I do still have the conference line that we can do it. I also have a Zoom page that we can do that. I'll put that out there
Yeah, let's
once
start
a
back
week.
doing that because we
Mhm.
had fun when we were doing that group.
Yeah,
And
and
rest in peace, Pam. It was
yeah,
Let's Talk About It, a support group where us ladies we got together. What was it? Every week, every other week, and
every week.
just talked about life problems and issues and you know
Yeah,
all the
because to be
past drama.
healthy,
We just had fun and it was healthy for me.
yes, it's healthy for everybody. To be healthy, you need to get all that other stuff off of you. You really do. Sickness and diseases come from being unhealthy. It just does because that stuff is buried inside you. We need to get it out. We need to get it off of us and be free and be free of that. It's not only about taking medicine and going to the doctor. It's about life, living life, enjoying life, laughing and being free of all this stuff out here. So.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. That
So, what advice would you give to people now regarding the mass, Natalie? Minister Natalie.
well, you know what? Masks are protecting you and somebody else from being sick. I advise you to wear the mask when you're in public, when you're around people you don't know, and if you're out in the open by yourself, don't wear the mask 24/7. I wouldn't wear it 24/7 because your body does need to breathe fresh air. You really do. But if you're in company or around other people, wear the mask. Even if it's not for you, it's for other people. They're your grandparents, your sick aunt, your babies, your grandbabies. Wear the mask. You don't want to pass anything to anybody. It's just safety sake. That's all. It's safety sake. It's not about condoning to the system or all of that. We need to get out of these negative uh, vibes here. Just wear the mask and keep it going. I'm sitting outside right now in this beautiful sunshine and this fresh air. Get all the fresh air you can, but you notice I'm by myself. So just if you can get out and get some fresh air by yourself, I'm listening to the birds. I'm watching the bird feeders. Clear your mind. The world is so full of confusion and negativism. Find some peace. Find some peace.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, I put in the comment that is healthy. That is H, capital H, the number 4,
Hmm.
small letters, Life CD, LIFECD, at gmail.com.
Hmm.
And then the phone number is area code 815-823-7931. And even those that are watching from out of state, because I know I have a person that's probably going to call you,
Okay.
and um, she can help you too. So don't be afraid, people. Don't be ashamed if you get to the hospital and you feel like your significant other, your family member, child, or somebody is sicker. Give Minister Natalie Weeks a call. Let her be an advocate for you, not to be sent home if you don't think so. She could give you a great second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what people need to start doing, I'm thinking, is getting second opinions.
Yes.
And so,
And even if you do go home, go back. If you don't feel better, go back. Make them listen to you. Go back. Call your doctor, call the insurance company, go back. That's what I do. If I'm not satisfied, I will pick up the phone and call the insurance company and complain and tell them I am not satisfied and this is what needs to happen. And they will definitely be an advocate for you. They do.
okay. So, in this area, which hospital do you recommend people going to?
Well, sometimes you don't, you can't go to everywhere you want to go.
Mhm.
Um, so you might have to go to where you have to go. But I think I would be an advocate for myself when I go to the hospital. Know as much as you can know when you go. So that way they don't think that they could just tell you anything. They can't tell you anything. Just always, before they let you go or whatever, get all your paperwork. Make sure they read the directions to you. Make sure you understand what they're telling you before you leave that hospital, before you sign any papers. And I mean, even if you're Hispanic, you speak English or not, make sure they have someone there that can get you to understand what they're talking about before you leave that hospital and before you sign any papers. Make sure you understand what they're telling you because you have a right to go back.
Right. And is it true that they're trying to say if you have COVID, um, that they they want you not to like make anybody liable or responsible for you having COVID?
I can't hear you, darling.
You can't hear me?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I was saying, is it true? Is it true that I'm hearing some people when they go places, they're making them sign COVID waivers.
Hmm.
Uh, like if you go to the ballpark here in Joliet, are they making you sign a paper saying that if you get COVID, they're not responsible for you? Have you heard about that?
No, I
Oh, okay.
haven't. I haven't.
Okay. All right.
But
Okay.
personally, I wouldn't go to
Okay.
many strangers.
Okay. So,
It's,
what's your recommendations for people now?
well, you know what? If there's too many people that there that you don't know, don't go. That's like any place else. If you go to a place where you see a bunch of people that are gathering around that you don't know, normally, would you go?
And but what about if they have masks on?
If you see a bunch of people gathering around at a place, it looks kind of strange that you don't know, would you go? On
No.
a regular basis, would you go?
No.
Exactly. And they have masks on. I'm not going. Mm-mm. I'm definitely
Okay.
not going if they have masks on. No.
Well,
That's my personal opinion. I'm not going.
okay. So now, what do you think about people? Because I know some people that they won't never eat anything out
Hmm.
because they say they don't know who's preparing the food. They might have COVID or whatever.
Hmm.
But I feel that we don't know who's processing the food. when you get ready to go to the grocery store. So what difference does it make?
No, that's exactly right. You don't know. The heat, when the heat cooks the food, heat usually kills the germs. Now, when somebody else breathes on it, that's a whole different story after it's cooked. But it's the same difference. But see, we go so far into thinking into things. We worry about things we shouldn't worry about. And then the things we should worry about, we don't. Now, you will worry about eating food out at a restaurant, but you will go to a ballpark where there's 100,000 strangers, right?
Exactly. Well, I pray over my food before I eat it anyway.
Exactly. So we have to
Yeah.
make, you know how I make sense of stuff, right, Darlene?
Right.
We have to make sense out of what we're thinking. We think one way about certain things and then we don't think the same way about something else. It doesn't make sense. Use that same logic on everything.
Okay. Yes, Miss Minister Natalie Weeks keeps me in check personally. Also, Miss Minister Natalie Weeks, did you want to say any closing statements to the audience?
I just think it's important that we are our own healthcare advocate, that we know as much about ourselves as we need to know. And first, how to do that is we need to start with a healthy body. If we start out healthy, then we start getting sick, we know that there's something wrong. But in this day and age, it's hard to do that because there's so much out here that we're just unaware of what's going on. But so from this point on, start recognizing what's going on with your own body. If you feel like you're tired, either get some rest and then start watching yourself. Just like every people get temperatures taken at work all the time. If you feel like you have a temperature at home, take your temperature. Why are you going to work to let somebody else take your temperature when you know you have one before you get there? If you have a cold, why are you going to work to pass the cold on to other people?
Exactly.
Jobs, I understand in America, we have this thing that they want people to work themselves to death. You don't have to do it because that's what they want you to do. No means no. I'm not coming to work because I'm sick. And if I come to work and get everybody else sick, then nobody can work. Nobody. Everybody's sick. So if you're sick, stay home.
You hear that, everyone? If you're sick, stay home.
Hmm. Stay home. Yep.
Wear
Just
your
remember.
mask. Wash your hands. Any other suggestions? Oh, like keep like a little diary too, right? Maybe some of these people that.
Yeah. Yeah. Every day. Just make, like I said, make sure you know what's going on with you because nobody else can do that but you. You know how you feel every day. You know if you're tired. You know if you don't feel good. You know if you're coughing. You know if what that cough means. Everybody doesn't have a cold cough or a COVID cough or, you know, people have allergies. Some allergies make you have a fever. It's not the same kind of fever as a COVID fever or the flu fever. It's so much, but you know your body. You know your body. I have to guess when I start first meet you. I have to figure it out from the outside in instead of the inside out. You already know. That's what doctors do. Say they practice medicine. Of course they do because they don't know you at first. They have to learn you. That's what takes so long because they are working backwards, not forward. Not forward.
Okay. And the survey, they can call you to get the survey.
I'm going to have that survey out before next week. So it
Okay.
should be online. I'm trying to get it put online on Facebook so everybody can see it and get it filled out. That's what I'm trying to do.
And could you tell the audience one more time what the survey is about for those that have come in late?
Yeah, the survey is asking who, brown, black, colored, who has had unfair or undeserved treatment by in this community from any of the hospitals, one or the other, or even you know what, even the ambulance service, any of the services here in our community, regards to COVID-19. I want to know because one of the people also had an issue with the ambulance drivers. This same young lady, pregnant, coughing, can't breathe, coughing up blood. When the ambulance picked her up, they had her. They didn't go inside and get her. She had to walk outside by herself from the second floor.
Wow.
Exactly. Excuse me, but that's your job. That's what you
Exactly.
do. What if she couldn't walk outside? What if she was already compromised, coughing blood?
Wow.
By the time she got to the hospital, her O2 saturations were so low. Come on, walk outside, and she's pregnant. Who does that? Who does
Right.
that? Like I said, I've been in healthcare a long time. You don't treat people like this. You don't treat people like this. No.
Right. Because they chose to enter into the health field, and you have an obligation to treat people
Yep.
at all times. You have to give them 100%.
You take an oath to
Just
do
because
it.
COVID has come out, you could not change the way you
No.
feel about these people.
No. You take an oath to care for people, to save lives. That's what you do. That's what you do. And you're dishonoring it when you mistreat people. You do.
And so, everyone, Minister Natalie Weeks will be having a survey next week. Um, what she is trying to do is find out about anybody that has been mistreated by the hospitals, um, or sent home from the hospitals too soon, and they were told to go home and quarantine, and they still kept getting sicker. And so, if you can call Minister Natalie Weeks if this happens to you, and she can tell you that it's okay to go back to the hospital no matter what these doctors said, and she's going to advocate for you. So, is that the summary of it all, Miss Natalie?
That's it. That's it.
And
Hmm.
she's going to fight for you. She is a great fighter when it comes for this health care. But she can't fight if you don't let her know. And
Right.
please let her know from the beginning. If you
Yes.
decide to contact her, don't wait till they've gone, you've gone home twice. The first time it happens, please let her get in on it so she can
Hmm.
advocate for you
Hmm.
as soon as possible. Not the second or third time.
And keep all paperwork they give you. Keep
Yeah, and
all the
keep
paperwork
all
they
your
give
paperwork.
you. Hmm.
So I do appreciate you coming on, my friend, my confidant,
Thank you
my
for
sister
having
in Christ, my health care. I even call her when I have
me.
issues and medicines and everything. And so I just want to thank you for coming on.
You're
And
welcome.
everyone in Joliet, the Will County area, because this is what I try to do. I'm trying to let everybody know what's going on out there in the community and the people that we have that's trying to help us. And especially when it comes to your health. I just turned 58, and my health is, besides God, is my top priorities. So don't feel bad if you get sick or anything.
Mm-mm.
Don't feel bad. Feel free to call Minister Natalie Weeks for a second opinion. Don't let anybody make you feel that you are worthless, from the ambulance driver to when you call your doctor to when you get to that hospital. You're still number one.
Hmm.
And make sure they treat you like that. And if they don't and send you home, then you call Minister Natalie Weeks. And that's all I got to say.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Love you, girl.
Love
Anything
you too.
else you want to say?
That's it.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye
You're
bye.
welcome. Thanks for coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.